Hey guys, welcome back to Cherry Hills. This is episode 9, and you'll notice that we're at the loading screen, and that's because I wanted to give a little bit of an intro before we jump into the map, and that is I wanted to show the benefits of all of the random industries that Stevie puts into his maps. I used a game extension mod, and I have it configured that at 9 o'clock it fast forwards at 500 speed through the night until 6 a.m. So I've saved the game right at 8:59 p.m. So we're going to jump in the map. I want to show you the amount of money we have, and then basically within a few seconds it's going to fast forward at 9 p.m. and just fly through until 6 a.m. And I wanted to show you the amount of money that just racks up overnight by just letting all of those industries be up and running and earning us money. So let's jump on in, and I'll show you the massive economic benefits of these industries. So you'll see we have $499,271. Okay, so we're about to fast forward time, and we'll watch this tick up. So at 9 p.m. We fast forward to 500 speed. That is configurable. I liked the 500. I felt it was slow enough that I could do things if I wanted to, like take pallets off of industries. Of course, Stevie's stuff all auto sells. So you can see that we sold our milk for $32,000. We had vehicle running costs of $15,000. And you'll see our money just rack up there. It just keeps on rolling. We do have the windmills that Stevie put in place, so that's what the property income there. We had animal upkeep of $8,800 negative. And we just keep on rolling here. It's sun's coming up now. You see the shadows playing across the trees, the way Farm Sim follows the sun. I really like that. And it is now 6 a.m. and we are down to 1x speed again, and you'll see our money is still rolling. We will, while the money is still rolling in, I wanted to jump around and check the status of our industries. Now we don't just jump around on my games saves, but I wanted to do that just to check on the status, and I'll probably do this at the start of every game day just to check where we are. So our tree nursery, we're at 35 and 37% on all our goods. So our sawmill here, we are at 77% on wood chips and 85% on logs. Alright, so we earned about $77,000 just overnight by having all of our industries up and running. So this one is off for some reason, but we have plenty of logs there. Okay, so let's go over here and check out this industry. This is the table industry. 84%, so we're good to go there. %, so we're good to go there. Again, I'm not really sure why this one's off, but I'm sure it'll kick up here in a moment. And then we have our greenhouses. Okay, so here's our greenhouses. Now off camera, I did load these up with manure. I don't think you all saw that. So I've got all of these greenhouses now running. So we're at 94 and 87%. So all 5 of these greenhouses are operational now. 90% on all those. Okay. So here we have our pallets of vegetables. There we have watermelon, pumpkins, tomatoes, and am I stuck? No, okay. Lettuce, or cauliflower and lettuce. And I also went ahead and got the flour mill up and running. So the flour mill here is up and running. It has a little bit of grain in it. I didn't have enough to fill up the flour mill completely. So it makes pallets of flour there in bags. So $77,000 every night. All we have to do is keep our industries up and running. It's pretty easy money, if you ask me. So we have also, let me jump to here and bring you up to speed. We'll jump over to the BGA here in a second. So we've got our Seed Master is full of seeds. So we have 61,000 liters of seeds, or units of seed. We have 40,000 units of diesel fuel. We have almost 63,000 units of solid fertilizer. And 75,000 units of liquid fertilizer. And where we got that from was up here at our BGA. If you recall, where are we at? Here we are. If you recall, we fired up our digestate facility here, which takes digestate and produces liquid fertilizer. We still have 42,000 liters here. Solid fertilizer, we have 47,000 liters there. And fuel, almost 47.5 of fuel still to pick up here. Here is our manure production. We are out of liquid manure. We have 64,000 of solid manure, and we still have some straw, 53,000 straw. And here, guys, you all didn't see the final product, but here we are. Here is our grass from field 6. I think that was field 6. Yep, from field 6. In total, there was 850,000 liters or units of grass came off of that field, and I think the courseplay leveler worked out pretty good. It's kind of bumpy here at the back, but I think you can pretty much expect that here at the back wall. So this is sitting at 69% fermentation. And just as I want to show you this is kind of a byproduct of leasing. This was a grass field by default on the map, and when I returned the lease, it is now dirt. It is now just cultivated. So if we look at our field status, it simply shows it as being cultivated. So in order to get any more off of this, we're not going to be able to lease this field and basically mow grass anymore. We're pretty much stuck. If we want to do something, we either need to buy or lease that field and actually plant something and have it come up. But what I think, bridge speed limit. Okay. What I think we're going to do is we'll probably lease this field. It didn't cost me that much money to lease this field. We're probably going to lease this field and pretty much lease it more long term and plow it and put corn in there. So the next time we do silage, we'll do corn chaff with our forage harvester, and we'll put it in the bunker, and we'll try to remember what we had with our grass to see what we get with our chaff. So let's take a look at where we are with our growing. So our corn is in the final growth stage, as well as our sugar beets. Our soybeans are kind of split between the final growth state and the second to final growth state. And our grass is, let me jump there, our little grass field or grass meadow. It appears to me to be ready to mow again. We've got colored flowers here, and if we look over here where I didn't mow, there's no real difference in grass from where I haven't mowed. So I think this is pretty much fully grown grass, so we're ready to mow this again, which is pretty good because our sheep and our cows are going to need some grass. We are out of grass entirely. Off camera, I did top these guys up. I did have to mow a little bit of grass around the roads to get them topped up, and we're up to 93 pigs. So they are slowly accumulating. I think once we have about 120 pigs, we'll start sending them off to slaughter for sausage and ham instead of steak, but sausage and ham. So I just wanted to bring you all in. We're not really going to do any farming until later in the episode, but I wanted to bring you all in and show you the income that we're going to earn overnight. I'd like to be as transparent as we can with our income. And if we look at our Bank of Hagenstadt, we can now lease a lot more fields than we could yesterday. And I think it all has to do with our money amount. So we can now lease fields 4, 5, 6, and 7. We can lease fields 10. 12 I'm not so interested in. 13 I'm not so interested in right now. I'm not really interested in 14 or 17 at the moment, or 18. I'm not really, but 4, 4, and 10. These two fields very much interest me, and I think we're probably going to lease these two fields right away. And the rest of this episode will probably be us plowing these fields, or at least, yeah, probably starting to plow at least one of these fields with the intent of working these fields into our growth stage. And we may just go ahead and pick up 5, 6, and 7. This game day may just be extensive field work and prepping these fields for planting. And I'm thinking what we're going to do is we'll probably put, let's get here. We'll probably put, we need straw. We've got a fair bit of straw, but we're going to use straw for compost. We're going to use straw for bedding. We're going to use straw for a few other things. So we're probably going to put, I think, rye or oat. I got to research and see if rye and oat make straw. But I want to plant some of these other crops that we haven't seen before. So I'll probably put oat in maybe field 4. So guys, a lot has happened since we were last here. We left just a few moments ago, basically, as you're watching this. But as you can see, the time on the clock has changed a bit. The money has changed a bit. We actually have had a fairly good price on compost, and went ahead and sold about 180,000 units of compost. Made about $100,000 off of that. And we have got our 2 case Titan fertilized spreaders lined up here, and we've loaded up our truck with our big Metaltech tipper, not tipper, overloader wagon with fertilizer, as you can see from the sign there in the back. So we are ready to go over to field 4. First thing we need to do, though, is we need to call up the bank and let them know that we are interested in leasing that field. So we want to lease field 4. So we just signed the paperwork. The digital age is a wonderful thing. We're able to sign our lease electronically. So we are now paying $11,800 per day to lease that field. So we're going to bring our dual case tightens over to field 4, and we are going to start spreading fertilizer on that field and get it fertilized before we bring out our plow. I actually had one of our hired workers go ahead and bring our plow out. Our plow is already over here, connected to our big old bud, big 747 himself. So we're going to fertilize this first, and then we are going to plow up the field. Then we're going to apply a second layer of fertilization, and then we are going to put oats into this field. So we're just going to park this over here and park here under the tree, and let's get our fertilized spreaders here ready, lined up, and we'll get ready to go. Alright, so we've got our fertilized spreaders here ready to rock and roll, and we're going to go ahead and work up a course play course for this. We are going to fertilize this field with 2 spreaders. So we want to change our working width from 18 to 36 meters. Each fertilized spreader is 18 meters wide in their working width. So we want a 36 meter working width. Let's start in the southwest corner or southeast corner, and given that this field has this cutout, this notch here, I think east to west is not a good idea because it's going to want to drive through that area. So we're going to need to go north on that. And we're going to do 1 headland, and we're going to do that last. Okay. So then this particular spreader is going to be offset to the left 9 meters. Okay, and we're going to turn on symmetric lane changes. Alrighty, and let's see, what else do we got to get going on here? I think that's pretty much it. Turn on field activated, that's good. Alright, let's generate this course. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, I guess that'll work. Let's see how that works out for us. So let's save this course, field 4, dual solid fert with 1 headland. Let's do that, and let's send you off. Okay, first waypoint. Drive course. Let's jump out here. Alright, let's jump out. See him take his boom out. And off he goes. Now we'll get this one. And we're going to pull up the same course. Field 4. Okay. But this one we're going to do an offset to the right of 9 meters. Activate that. Everything else is good. So let's go to first waypoint. Now let's see. He should have a head enough start. Let's drive our course, so he should pull up here to the left, or to the right of this starting point. What are you doing up there? Alright, so let's it's a little bit of an overlap there, but we'll just work with it. We have a working width of 38. Oh, why are you at 18? You need to be... Stop you. Stop your spraying. You need to have a working width of 36 with an offset to the right. So that's really odd. Load that. 36. 9 meters to the right. Let's go to nearest waypoint now. Alright, let's look at the course. Oh, okay. You got stuck on the headland course, which there will be some overlap on these courses on the headland, but that's fine. We'll just deal with that. Alright, that looks a little bit better. So, well, hopefully these guys will not run into each other. I wasn't expecting that one to come back so quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically watch these guys run for a little bit, and then I'm going to we're going to cut, and when we come back we will have completed the fertilization of this field, because I really want to start plowing on this episode. So I don't know how many times I will have to fill these spreaders with fertilizer, but I've got our overload wagon there full with 47,000 liters of fertilizer. So we should be able to fill these spreaders a couple times. And the plan is, over the next few episodes, to do field work on field 10 as well as the field work that we're doing on field 4. We're planning to put oats again in field 4 here and sorghum in field 10. So that is the plan. We'll see how that works out in real life, or as I should say, in game life. And then field 5, which is directly in front of us, we're going to put barley in at some point. The plan is hopefully to do fully work fields 4 and 10 this game day, which includes putting 3 layers of fertilization on both fields, plowing both fields, and sowing both fields before this game night ends. And if we're able to successfully do that, I will call that a win. Ideally, we would also be able to maybe get on field 5 there, but we'll just have to check and see how that works. So let's jump on in here and just ride first person. We'll ride to the end of the field here, and then we'll cut until the fertilization here is done. Actually, what I want to do is when we get to the end of this run, I want to bring out our big old plow, and I want to see how wide its working width is. With respect to the fertilization, the fertilizer that we're putting down, because if I can have the big bud plowing this field at the same time I've got these guys putting fertilizer down, then that will just speed up the whole process for me. So we'll just see how that goes. So if you haven't seen this mod, this is the Case Titan fertilized spreader. So I know it looks like that's liquid coming out, but that is supposed to be the fertilizer beads coming out. I've got big flotation tires on this thing because we do not have anything planted in this field, so we shouldn't really care about trampling on any types of plants, but we do want to try to compact the soil as less as possible So we want the big flotation tires on there. And each of these held 8,000 or so units of fertilizer. So we'll see how many passes we can get. So this is my big bud, and this is my massive plow. So this will make fast work of pretty much any field. We will need to refuel this guy. So if we are able to go ahead and plow this, I'm going to have to call over to the farm and get somebody out here with the fuel truck to refuel our bud. Alright, so let's take a look here. Let's pull up field 4. Let's check in the shop and see what our working width on this plow is. 26 meters. So we can definitely plow this field at the same time that we're fertilizing, because one pass with our 2 spreaders is 36 meters. So one pass with this is only 26. Only 26. That's hilarious to just say only 26 meters for a plow. So we're going to start southeast again. Alright, slow down. There we go. Southeast. We want to go north. We want to do one headland last and generate that thing. What else do we want? We want turn on field activated. Sure, because I really don't know what's over there. There's no offset needed. First waypoint, let's do that. Oh, am I in the wrong mode? Alright. Why are you way over there? Oh, stop. This had no offset just a few seconds ago. You all saw that. Alright, so let's... I know you're going to fold up anyway, so let's just go ahead and fold it up. So if y'all are interested where I got the plow from, I do not remember, but I know it's in my mods list, so it'll be listed there. So this massive beast will make quick work of any field, and is my go-to plow for massive fields like this. So let's all jump in our bud and take a look at this huge plow that we're pulling behind us. So it's going to take something of this type of horsepower to pull that beast at any resemblance of speed. Alright, so we're running up against our time limit. I am going to obviously refuel this big bud before he finishes the field. And our fertilized spreaders are making very quick work of this field already. They are maybe about a third of the way through the field already. So when we come back next episode, we will have this field plowed and fertilized to 2 states of fertilization, and we will haul out our big old Fendt Tri-6, and we'll bring out the Seed Hawk, and we will be seeding this field with oats. And we'll probably also be having our spreaders and our plow working over here in field 10. But we're going to make it basically focus most of our time on field 4 and sowing of oats. So if you like this series, go ahead and click the like button on the video. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and click the subscribe button. I put out Let's Play series on the Big Bud, our Big Boys, Big Toys here at Cherry Hills every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at noon. I do a Let's Play series on Serenity Valley that comes out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m. And I do map first impression videos, or map reviews, map first looks, whatever you want to call it. They're all basically the same thing. I do those every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 a.m. And randomly I will put out a how-to video that basically kind of explains maybe a different way of thinking, a different way of maybe doing something within Farm Sim. A couple recent videos that I've put out have been ways to use factory mods to basically make your animals more profitable. One was how to really make pigs profitable by using a meat processing factory script. And another one I put out recently was how to make sheep even more profitable than simply just selling wool, but by converting that wool into fabric and then selling the fabric at anywhere between twice the cost of wool to 3 times the price of wool. So you could really rack up the money there, knowing how valuable wool is. Fabric is that much more valuable. So also please check some of the guys in my description, some YouTube guys. They have different types of play series. Some play on really big maps, some play on really small maps. Some like to play super realistic. Some guys not so much. I wouldn't really call my play, at least on this map, overly realistic, but more fun. My gameplay on this map should be more of a fun type of a game series. And lastly, I want you to check out the 3 Dudes Gaming Network website if you can, and the PCSG web community. Those are both really great, really friendly communities, and a place that I would highly endorse anybody to join and participate in. So until next time, guys, happy farming.